Got some kind of a problem here. You know, one thing that's really disappointing is the fact that we have to take this GPS receiver off the combine every night when we go home. You see, right now there's a shortage of GPS receivers in the John Deere worldwide network. So people are going around and stealing these off people's combines and tractors in the field, and even at the dealership when they're sitting there waiting to get worked on. Let's set this big bean head off on the cart, and then we'll get the combine all cleaned up, head to the field and cut some more beans. All right, now for the fun part. Always a little weird driving the combine with no head on it. It just feels like something's missing. Well, it's working. The dew isn't even off the grass yet, and these beans are feeding through so nice, and they're only 12.5% moisture. Breaking in a new beaner right now. What do you think of beaning, Josh?
I think it's quite a bit of fun.
Once you get that hydrostat in your hand, it's pretty hard to pry it out.
It is.
All right, he's trained and ready to go, and I got a load of beans on the cart, so I got to get them hauled to town. They grow up so fast. Can't believe we're just getting started with harvest and this tractor's so dirty already. It's just been so dry and dusty. We get a heavy dew every morning, and that sticks to the hood, and then all the road dust sticks to that dew. Man, that's a lot of beans coming out. We can unload about 1,000 bushels in just under 2 minutes with this auger on this cart. Man, this is a pleasant surprise. I just showed up at the elevator and there's not a single other truck here. I can't believe this. I thought I'd be waiting for an hour or two in a line of guys trying to dump beans because everybody's combining right now, but lucky me. You cannot beat the service at these small town elevators. You don't even have to get out of the truck. Man, it is a hot one today. The air conditioning conked out in the Freightliner 2 days ago, and the new compressor isn't gonna be here till tomorrow night. I smelled a bad smell and I came over here and found this. Got some kind of a problem here. So I popped off the battery cover, and sure enough, this battery here is really hot. I mean, ouch, I can't hardly touch it. And this one here is just like it should be, not hot at all. So we're gonna be changing out our batteries, it looks like. Can we just take a minute to appreciate that? Man, harvest sunsets are always the best. Are you positive that's how it's supposed to go?
No.
Here we go with attempt number 1 to start the combine. That seems like a good sign. That seems like a very good sign. Well, we're back at it. I want to show you something crazy. Some of you are hardly going to believe this. See, back when I was a kid, a patch of foxtail like that would just about shut down the combine. Now with the draper and the rotary thresher, look at how it just feeds in so gently. Has no effect on the combine's performance. I mean, if it's really, really wet and there's a giant pile of it, it will. You'll have to slow down. But man, so much different than when I was a kid. Well, I'm going to call it a night. It's getting a little tough. They're not cutting as good. I was gonna check this battery situation again before I left and make sure there was no smoke coming out of the new batteries. Smells good. No smoke coming out of the little pipe on the bottom. That's good. The box isn't hot. That's good. Good morning. Well, we just got the dust blown off and the windows wiped off and the combine is ready to go for the day. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the farm and get the semi and come and haul that load of beans that I left on last night. I say, I'm sure you're probably still only averaging 12 or something, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's quite the commute from the semi back to where the grain cart is. It would be about a half a mile if you had to walk to get the grain cart. So my wife's gonna come and run the grain cart today and hopefully speed us along a little bit. Might do some dumping on the go, but mainly she's just gonna be here to get that cart back and forth between the field drive where I've got the semi parked and where we're dumping into it, back in the back of this big field. There's only one driveway that we can use with the semi right now, so it kind of limits our options. You know, I've been whining about the heat a little bit lately because the air conditioning isn't working in the semi right now. But this is a downright beautiful day. Got some nice shade trees here to sit down underneath and eat my lunch. Got a nice view of the harvest crew too, and the wife doesn't have a full cart yet. So I've got time to relax for a bit. I'd say things are looking up. Well, I got my lunch polished off, got caught up on all the Instagram gossip, and there comes my wife with a load of beans. Well, I just got back from dumping the third load of beans in town today and got too many green beans, too many wet beans, and it's not gonna work. So we are moving to another field and we're gonna try to drive the combine right down the road with this giant draper on it. Oh yeah, that's not very wide. Well, these beans are dry enough, and good grief, they are yielding really, really well. The stems are a little green. I don't think we'll be able to cut too late. I mean, it is pretty much using all the horsepower this combine has, and I'm only going 2.9. Morning. Another beautiful day. Bet it's gonna be a hot one. Let's get after it again. I think I am the only person bringing beans to town today. I've never seen another vehicle down there, and the pit's always empty when I get there.
I thought you got a bag break there.
Well, I certainly can't complain about the yield on this field of beans. The only thing I would say though is they are too wet and too dry at the same time. The beans themselves are a little too dry, but the stems and the pods are a little too wet. These are cutting really hard and threshing really, really hard. It's really working that combine hard, but like I say, the beans themselves are very dry. So here we are, combining them anyway. Well, we have finished another field. We're just getting started custom cutting some beans for a neighbor here. Almost 6 o'clock at night. The sun's starting to get low in the sky, but we've got a good breeze tonight, and these beans are drier than a popcorn fart. So I think we're gonna be able to go long enough to get this field done, I hope. It's only 40 some acres. We're well into it now. We only need about another 3 hours. We did not quite get done. We had about 10 more acres left and it got too wet. The breeze stopped all of a sudden, but you know what? It doesn't really matter because there's always another field to do anyway. It's not like finishing a field means that we're done. There's a lot more harvest to go. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.